If we went into your kitchen and we dumped your trash on the ground, we would find over 30% is actually not trash at all. It's compostable material. So that means that a third of the stuff that you're hauling out of your house to the landfill is actually a valuable resource. We're here to make sure that you never have to put your resources in the trash again, and that you can sort of be part of a productive system that takes those resources and enriches the community.
So my name's Dustin, and you and I make this.
Eastside Comp Peddlers is an organization that picks up people's kitchen scraps from their homes or businesses and takes it to local farms to break down into compost and keep it out of the landfill.
My name is Eric, and together we make this.
One thing that makes the Peddlers unique is that we do 100% of our collections with bicycles. So we're 100% bike powered. That means that we run on fat instead of fossil fuels.
Have you heard of the Food is Free project? The idea is to transform communities through ultra-local food production and repurposing salvage materials. But what does it mean? We started out by using old shipping pallets and political signs to build a garden bed in our front yard. We added a sign explaining the veggies and herbs were for our neighborhood and a whiteboard for neighbors to write contact info if they wanted help building a bed or just to stay in touch. Response was slow at first, but we came outside to meet our neighbors and explained how easy wicking beds are to maintain. More on that in another video. Now 19 out of the 30 houses on our block have front yard gardens. We know our neighbors, and together we've planted over 200 gardens around our hometown of Austin, Texas. We're starting to change things, and it all started with that first front yard garden bed. When you start growing food with your neighbors, something amazing starts to happen. Not only does the place get greener, but you'll start seeing more smiles. Need some tomatoes? Sweet! Got some basil? Awesome! Leafy greens? Got you covered. See that empty lot? Maybe it's not so empty anymore. Neighborhood park? Community garden? Food forest? The possibilities are endless. Safer, stronger, healthier communities aren't just a dream. We can make them a reality. Together, it's easy. And it all starts with that first front yard garden.
I live in South Central. This is South Central. Liquor stores, fast food, vacant lots. I got tired of seeing this happening. And I wonder, how would you feel if you had no access to healthy food? If every time you walk out your door, you see the ill effects that the present food system have on your neighborhood? Food is the problem, and food is the solution. So what I did, I planted a food forest in front of my house. LA leads the United States in vacant lots that the city actually owns. They own 26 square miles of vacant lots. That's 20 Central Parks. That's enough space to plant 725 million tomato plants. Why in the hell would they not okay this? Growing one plant will give you 1,000, 10,000 seeds. Okay. When $1 worth of green beans will give you like $75 worth of produce. It's my gospel. I'm telling people, grow your own food. Growing your own food is like printing your own money. So I want us all to become evolutionary, renegades, gangsters, gangster gardeners. We got to we got to flip the script on what a gangster is. If you ain't a gardener, you ain't gangster. Get gangster with your shovel, okay? And let that be your weapon of choice. So basically, if you want to meet with me, if you want to meet, don't call me. If you want to sit around in cushy chairs and have meetings where you talk about doing some shit, If you want to meet with me, come to the garden with your shovel so we can plant some shit. Peace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The will to live life differently can start in some of the most unusual places. This is where I come from, Todmorden. It's a market town in the north of England, 15,000 people, between Leeds and Manchester, fairly normal market town. Used to look like this, and now it's more like this, with fruit and veg and herbs sprouting up all over the place. We call it propaganda gardening. And you know, we're not doing it because we're bored. We're doing it because we want to start a revolution. We're starting to build resilience ourselves. We're starting to reinvent community ourselves. And we've done it all without a flipping strategy document. And here's the thing as well. We've not asked anybody's permission to do this, we're just doing it. And we are certainly not waiting for that cheque to drop through the letterbox before we start. And most importantly of all, we are not daunted by the sophisticated arguments that say these small actions are meaningless in the face of tomorrow's problems, because I have seen the power of small actions and it is awesome. We started with a seed swap. Really simple stuff. And then we took an area of land, a strip on the side of our main road, which was a dog toilet basically, and we turned it into a really lovely herb garden. We took the corner of the car park in the station that you saw, and we made vegetable beds for everybody to share and pick from themselves. We went to the doctors. We've just had a £6 million health centre built in Todmorden, and for some reason that I cannot comprehend, it has been surrounded by prickly plants. So we went to the doctors, said, would you mind us taking them up? They said, absolutely fine, provided you get planning permission and you do it in Latin and you do it in triplicate. So we did. And now there are fruit trees and bushes and herbs and vegetables around that doctor's surgery. This is a movement for everyone. We have a motto: if you eat, you're in. Across age, across income, across culture. It's been really quite a roller coaster experience. But going back to that first question that we asked, is it replicable? Yeah, it most certainly is replicable. More than 30 towns in England now are spinning the incredible edible plates. Whichever way they want to do it, they're of their own volition, they're trying to make their own lives differently. And worldwide, we've got communities across America and Japan. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, what can you say? America and Japan and New Zealand. People, after the earthquake in New Zealand, visited us in order to incorporate some of this public spiritedness around local growing into the heart of Christchurch. And none of this takes more money, and none of this demands a bureaucracy. But it does demand that you think things differently and you are prepared to bend budgets and work programmes in order to create that supportive framework that communities can bounce off. And there's some great ideas already in our patch. Our local authority has decided to make everywhere incredible edible, and in support of that have decided to do two things. First, they're going to create an asset register of spare land that they've got, put it in a food bank so that communities can use that wherever they live, and they're going to underpin that with a licence. And then they said to every single one of their workforce, if you can, help those communities grow and help them maintain their spaces. Suddenly, we're seeing actions on the ground from local government. We're seeing this mainstreamed. We are responding creatively at last to what Rio demanded of us. And there's lots more you could do. I mean, just to list a few. One, please stop putting prickly plants around public buildings. It's a waste of space. Secondly, please create edible landscapes so that our children start to walk past their food day in, day out, on our high streets, in our parks, wherever that might be. Inspire local planners to put the food sites at the heart of the town and the city plan, not relegate them to the edges of the settlements that nobody can see. Encourage all our schools to take this seriously. This isn't a second-class exercise. If we want to inspire the farmers of tomorrow, then please let us say to every school, create a sense of purpose around the importance of the environment, local food and soils. Put that at the heart of your school culture and you will create a different generation. There are so many things you can do, but ultimately this is about something really simple. Through an organic process, through an increasing recognition of the power of small actions, we are starting at last to believe in ourselves again, and to believe in our capacity, each and every one of us, to build a different and a kinder future. And in my book, that's incredible. Thank you.
I, like many of you, am one of the 2 billion people on Earth who live in cities. So, I happen to know a little bit from my own work about how NASA has been using hydroponics to explore growing food in space, and that you can actually get optimal nutritional yield by running a kind of high-quality liquid soil over plants' root systems. Now, to a vegetable plant, my apartment has got to be about as foreign as outer space. But I can offer some natural light and year-round climate control. Fast forward 2 years later, we now have window farms, which are vertical hydroponic platforms for food growing indoors. And the way it works is that there's a pump at the bottom which periodically sends some of this liquid nutrient solution up to the top, which then trickles down through plants' root systems that are suspended in clay pellets, so there's no dirt involved. So I decided that instead of creating a product, what I was going to do was open this up to a whole bunch of co-developers. The first few systems that we created, they kind of worked. We were actually able to grow about a salad a week in a typical New York City apartment window, and we were able to grow cherry tomatoes and cucumbers, all kinds of stuff. So to bring on more co-developers, what we did was we created a social media site on which we published the designs, we explained how they worked, and we even went so far as to point out everything that was wrong with these systems. And then we invited people all over the world to build them and experiment with us. So actually now on this website, we have 18,000 people, and we have window farms all over the world. So window farms have been evolving through a rapid versioning process similar to software. And with every open source project, the real benefit is the interplay between the specific concerns of people customizing their systems for their own particular concerns and the universal concerns. So my core team and I are able to concentrate on the improvements that really benefit everyone. And we're able to look out for the needs of newcomers. So for do-it-yourselfers, we provide free, very well-tested instructions so that anyone, anywhere around the world can build one of these systems for free. If we really want to see the kind of wide consumer behavior change that we're all talking about as environmentalists and food people, maybe we just need to ditch the term consumer and get behind the people who are doing stuff. Open source projects tend to have a momentum of their own. And what we're seeing is that R&DIY has moved beyond just window farms and LEDs into solar panels and aquaponic systems. And we're building upon innovations of generations who went before us. And we're looking ahead at generations who really need us to retool our lives now. So we ask that you join us in rediscovering the value of Citizens United and to declare that we are all still pioneers.